Good morning, traders. Welcome to today's market review. This is Fred Razak at CMTrading. Today is June 7th, 2017, and today is Wednesday morning. So looking at the economic events of the day, we had an early morning event that's coming out of Australia. The Aussie dollar had a quarterly GDP effect, and we'll see how that affected actually on the graph. And then later today at 4:30 South African time, we have our weekly crude oil inventories number. Now, of note, tomorrow in Great Britain, that's the UK, they're having parliamentary elections, and that's happening all day. So we'll see how that will be affected. Just be aware of it in advance in case you don't follow up on our morning review tomorrow. But that's something you need to be aware of. We'll look at the GDP in just a second, but let's see what's been going on in the Euro USD. So we're looking here at the Euro USD on a 30-minute chart, and it's really just been trickling down just a little bit. 1279, 1282 was its high, and then we just trickled down to 1262. So it's really been just a very tight range right here, only 20 pip range, but it has been still tradable, okay? If you want to scalp for 10, 15 pips, it's there, okay? Just have to hold it a little bit longer, wait until it actually happens. What I like about this is that it's showing relative strength. Okay, it hasn't been retracing back to this 111, 110-ish level. It's been holding itself above this area and not really receding below it, at least for the short term. Okay, that this doesn't mean that it's going to go up to 114, but it's showing me that it has some sort of strength, some sort of resistance at 1282, and some sort of strength at 1250-ish level, 1254-ish level. So that's something I'd like to look at, maybe buy the bottom of it and sell the top of it and just play the ranges as it comes along. Now looking at the GBP USD, remember tomorrow we got the parliamentary elections coming out. We're just trading shy of 129.26. Now there's one or two things that can happen. We could either go up or down tomorrow. Now you just need to know your levels and just to know where your resistance and your support levels are. So we have a support level 127-ish level, 2073. We're right below this 129-ish level. I might say that you could say that there's this minor support level at 128.77, which we've hit before. We kind of bounced off, but we're right here. And if we do pop it up, 129.91, even call it 130 is a resistance level. Looking at the longer term level, you know, once we break that, you could go up to 133. So we have to really see what the levels are and what we actually breach and what we continue to trade with tomorrow. It could be that it's a non-event. So you have to really just, you know, pay attention to it. It might be even a crazy day just to scalp it because it's going to be all over the place. So just keep an eye on that, how the news comes out and how the elections actually turn out. Looking at the USD JPY here, USD yen, we're trading at 109.49-ish level. Not really doing much the last couple of days, okay, really been very quiet. Now what's been of note is the gold. Gold trading at 12.91, okay, this thing doesn't want to give up. We started the week at 12.82 and we're $9 above, okay, we were trading as high as 12.94 yesterday. So this thing has been very resilient. Okay, I'd like to see some sort of continuation here. It looks like it has a little bit of a resistance here, really the resistance at the 1300-ish level, but we're in that range, 1290, you're in the 1304, between that range it's really a resistance. So just keep on in mind as you're trading this, not to, you know, jump really aggressively at this level to buy because, you know, you're playing the lower probability trade. Now if you are long it from 1221, since I mentioned, you might want to unload here. This is really a good place because it's really at the top of its range. So honestly, an amazing opportunity in just 1 month to make almost, you know, 100 excuse me, 80 to $100 on this one trade. Looking at oil today, we have crude oil inventories coming out. What's been going on in Qatar and some of the upheaval in the Middle East is being brushed off. You know, we're trading at 47.95 here per barrel. Not really aggressive. We've been trading very choppy recently. So, and we've been trading in a range, not a bad range, 49.93, 47.95, a $2 range, so it's not so bad. So there are some opportunities here. Looking at the JSE, now this is really important. A big nosedive from our resistance level of 48,419 since we had last week, but we look like we're coming back to a support level. So I would anticipate some sort of a support here, just so you recognize it before. If you did short it up here and you got this move, this might be a good place to start covering your shorts and maybe looking for a nice bounce. So this might be an opportunity to bounce it. Looking at the USD ZAR as well, we're just trading at 1288, nothing really doing. We've corrected ourselves. The ZAR's gotten stronger, but you see we're trading in a pretty tight range relatively for the USD ZAR. Looking at the Dow Jones, mum's the word. It's been really quiet, just receding about 70 points, which is not a big deal. So it's showing some relative strength compared to, and this is the big one, the DAX. Yesterday the DAX took a nosedive. It gapped down and continued and gapped and go, as you can see right here. So just look at this as this, develops throughout the day, and let's see if we do get that bounce here, because we are at support level right here and we're at the 30-day average. So if we do aggressively get a little bit weaker, we could even start going down to 12,439. So that's something that you got to keep an eye out. Now another thing of note is just to make sure that you're looking at your indices and your commodities to make sure that you're passing it forward to the next contract. This month is June, and it's the end of our second quarter, and we need to forward our forward contracts to the next quarter, which is September. So keep an eye on that as well. If you are carrying some CFDs, especially the indices and the commodities that you need to roll over into next month. This is Fred Razak at CMTrading. I want to wish you guys a great trading day. Thank you.